S, the image of S under tau. Keep in mind that this is something new. It's not, this image is not an element in T. It is a subset of T, because we are taking the entire first set here and applying tau on the first set, and whatever images we are getting, actually this is nothing but the set of all possible images. That's what we are calling the image of S under tau. Then tau is onto if and only if the image of S under tau is equal to T. That is, the set of all images covers T entirely. There is no place in T left where a non-image is there. Okay, so now we mention the examples in which we had onto functions. In examples 1, then 4 through 8, and example 10, the mappings are all onto. Okay, you can go to those examples and verify that the mappings are onto. The next definition is, of course, the injective or one-to-one mappings. S to T is called a one-to-one mapping if for any S1 and S2 belonging to S with S1 and S2 different, that is, they are distinct, we have that their images are also distinct. That is, if distinct elements in the first set has distinct images in the second set, then we say that the mapping is one-to-one or injective. In terms of inverse images of elements, a mapping tau from S to T is one-to-one if and only if for every T in T the inverse image of T under tau is either empty or consists of a single element of S. You please try to verify that this is true, that if our mapping is 1 to 1, then the inverse image of every element in T is either empty or a singleton set, that is, has only one element, and conversely. Now the mappings that are 1 to 1 in our examples, in the first example, third example, seventh example, and ninth example, the mappings are all 1 to 1. Okay, this you can verify. You can go to those mappings and see that they are 1 to 1. Next the perpendicular bisector has vanished. Let me just redraw it. The next definition is that of two mappings being equal. Two mappings sigma from S to T and tau from S to T. Note that for equality they should map the same set into the same set. Okay, that is the first condition. These sets should be identical, otherwise we cannot talk about equality. But there is more, only this much is not sufficient, and these are said to be equal if S sigma is equal to S tau for every element S in S. That is, not only do they map the same set into the same set, but they preserve the images. They map the one element onto the same element as image. Okay, so that is the definition of equality of two mappings. In other words, to put it simply, two mappings are equal if they are the same in every respect. And now comes the ultra important definition of composition of mappings. This is very important. It is important in general in mathematics, but in algebra it's all the more so important. Let S, T and U be sets, means non-empty sets. Okay, let us just write non-empty sets. Let sigma from S to T and tau from T to U be mappings. Okay, we have two mappings where this T, the intermediate set, is common to the two mappings. Then the composition of sigma and tau also known as their product is the mapping sigma composition tau. We put a small circle in between the two mappings to denote the composition, and it maps S into U, and the definition is the mapping defined by S sigma composition tau is equal to S sigma tau. Okay, so what is happening here is this: we take an element in S, this element, we first apply sigma on that element, so the image is in T. So this S sigma is in the set T. So that means on that we can apply tau, and the final result will be in U. So you can see that since for a given S in capital S, S sigma is a unique element in T. So for that unique element, S sigma tau is a unique element in U. So this definition that we have given for the composition of two mappings is actually a well defined one, that is, this map is well defined. Now here there is again that question of that left right business. So here also I say left right business because that's what the author has said. Okay, is not a uniform one. Note that for us the order of events reads from left to right. Sigma composition tau means, that is for us, it means first apply sigma and then follow it up with tau. People who write their mappings on the left, because we are writing mappings on the right side of the argument, right? This is the input, we are mapping, we are writing the mappings on the right side of it. Some people will write it on the left side like this, f of x. What we are writing is xf. So for them, the meaning of sigma composition tau will be entirely different. Left, sigma composition tau would mean first apply tau and then sigma, because their input will appear here. So first they will apply tau and then sigma. Keep in mind that it has to be meaningful. If the functions are, if the mappings are like this, then for them it will not be sigma composition tau. The same mapping that we have written here, they will write like this, tau composition sigma, because their s will appear here. So they have to be able to apply sigma first and then tau. But for us, since the s appears here on the left side, so we will write sigma composition tau. Okay. So that's why, to avoid this confusion, so in reading a given book, in mathematics, one must make absolutely sure as to which of the two ways of writing a mapping is being followed, because the meaning of sigma composition tau will depend on where the input is lying, to the right of this or to the left of this. Okay, so that must first of all be clear, and then only we can decide what sigma composition tau means. We reiterate, we are going to repeat this. For us, sigma composition tau means, or always means, to emphasize it even more, first apply sigma and then tau. So that means the order in which the mappings are actually occurring in this notation is the order in which they have to be applied. This is the reason primarily why algebraists write mappings on the right side, so that when they write composition, sigma composition of sigma and tau is sigma composition tau. That's all. They don't have to change the order to tau composition sigma to make it happen. Okay. So this is the composition and the resulting confusion about the notation. For us, keep in mind that since we have decided to always apply sigma first, so whenever composition is arising anywhere in this book, we have to write the input on the left hand side or the functions on the right hand side. Okay, we have to keep that in mind. Now let us go through some examples to illustrate this concept of composition of mappings.